In many myths and belief systems, female deities connected to darkness, death, devastation, or the underworld are referred to as dark goddesses. Frequently, these deities symbolize essential yet dreaded facets of existence and the environment. Dark goddesses have long piqued people's interest, since they are strong representations of the various aspects of life that are either avoided or feared. These gods embodied the transformational power of darkness, the mysteries of death and the unknown. Dark goddesses are linked to the underworld, darkness, divination, and the cycle of death and rebirth, in contrast to their life-giving counterparts. They cast doubt on the idea that good and evil are mutually exclusive and disclose a more nuanced view of cosmic equilibrium.
Thuggy was an obscenity that worshipped Kali with human sacrifices.
Kali is a multifaceted figure in Hindu mythology. She is the manifestation of the holy feminine energy known as Shakti and is essential to the defeat of evil. With a skirt of arms and a garland of skulls, her terrifying look represents the final dissolution that all beings will experience and the transience of life. Among Kali's duties are the annihilation of ignorance and the preservation of global order by destroying evil forces.
I'm so glad you approve, you witch bride of Hecate.
The Greek goddess of magic, witchcraft, the night and ghosts is Hecate. She has the ability to see in numerous directions, signifying options and the possibility of change, in her role as the crossroads protector. Hecate is a guardian goddess who mediates between the worlds of life and death, protecting the downtrodden and misfits. She stands for both intuition and the moon. Hecate governs the world of spirits and has the power to both frighten and advise people who ask for her favor.
Hi. I'm Hel. Who are you?
In Norse lore, Hel presides over the eponymous realm of the dead. Her domain serves as a resting place for common dead people who have not fallen in battle. Hel's domain is not a place of punishment, but rather a resting place for those who have died of old age or sickness. Hel is a goddess who stands for death's inevitable outcome and the grave's finality. In spite of her gloomy responsibilities, Hel keeps the balance between life and death, guaranteeing that existence cycles on. She is described as half black and half flesh-colored, representing the duality of life and death.
Wait, please, can you tell us about the Celtic goddess?
A common representation of the Morrigan in Celtic mythology is that of a trio of sisters, signifying conflict, destiny, and authority. She possesses the capacity to sway battle results and is renowned for her ability to predict and even mold the future. Because of her bond with the land and its animals, especially wolves and crows, the Morrigan is associated with the cycle of life and death and serves as a guardian of the region. In addition to destruction and insanity, the Morrigan also stands for prophecy and sovereignty.
Persephone was abducted by Hades, and it was believed that because of this nothing grew and the people starved.
Greek mythology tells of Persephone's kidnapping by Hades and the compromise that led to her dual status as the underworld's queen and the goddess of spring. Her yearly descent and reappearance serve as symbols for the seasons and the transition between life and death. The narrative of Persephone incorporates the concepts of lost innocence, self-realization, and accepting one's dual nature.
I am Lilith, queen of demons, end of the flesh, and I am Ishtar, bloody Ishtar, and I am Morrigan!
Originally from Jewish legend and the Talmud, Lilith is described as Adam's first wife who opted for exile rather than submission. Lilith, a demonic figure frequently connected to the night, stands for the untamed wild sides of womanhood as well as the perils of the night. She's a representation of the fight for equality and liberty as well as the opposition to cultural standards. She is a symbol of female sexuality and empowerment. According to vampire mythology, Lilith rebelled and turned into a vampire, gaining immortality and bloodlust as a result. There are legends that Lilith's vampiric nature drove her to prey on humans, especially children, in order to feed. In some vampire tales, Lilith is portrayed as the ancestor of a whole vampire bloodline, with all surviving vampires deriving from her. Although Lilith and vampirism aren't related in the original mythical texts, this intriguing connection has persisted in vampire mythology.
Dragon Sister's saying, are you a sacrifice? May I eat you now? Dragons be polite with her, please,
The primeval goddess of the saltwater ocean, Tiamat, is the embodiment of both creation and chaos. The creator, Tiamat, transforms into a terrible dragon in the Babylonian tale Enuma Elish, which needs to be defeated in order to restore cosmic order. Her story emphasizes themes of beginnings through destruction and facing chaos head-on in order to create fresh beginnings. She is a symbol of unbridled natural powers and unadulterated creative strength. In the Dungeons & Dragons universe, Tiamat, the five-headed dragon queen, is a formidable and legendary creature. She is a prominent opponent in the Dragonlance universe, renowned for her might and evil. Tiamat is a formidable foe to any bold explorers who dare to oppose her rule, as each of her heads represents a distinct chromatic dragon kind. She represents chaos and destruction. In order to succeed in their mission, players must be ready to confront Tiamat's fury and crafty plans as they make their way through Dragonlance's perilous terrain. A number of motifs recur across these tales about dark goddesses despite the diversity of civilizations and traditions. The concept of dark gods challenges the idea that femininity is only compassionate and kind. These goddesses, who represent the enigmatic, wild and metamorphic forces of nature, reflect the dark sides of the divine feminine. They serve as a reminder that creation and destruction, light and dark, are all intricately linked. Every goddess is linked to transformation, be it the seasonal shifts, like Persephone, the passage from life to death, like Hell, or personal growth, like Lilith. A lot of these gods have two sides to them. For example, Tiamat is the creator and destroyer, while Kali is the nurturer and punisher. As with Hecate, dark goddesses are usually associated with the corners of society that are shunned and the parts of life that are generally avoided. Like Lilith, a great many of these deities demonstrate a strong sense of individuality and self-determination. Like in the Morrigan, their duties frequently entail upholding cosmic or moral balance in order to guarantee that life cycles continue unhindered. Dark goddesses are strong archetypes in the modern world, representing the intricacies of human psychology and life. They refute the idea that darkness is always bad, highlighting instead the transformational possibilities of darkness. These goddesses give people a place to confront and embrace their shadows, come to terms with change's inevitable nature, and integrate many facets of who they are. Moreover, they present an alternative perspective on femininity that goes against the conventional duality of the loving mother and the naive maiden. These goddesses speak to people who want to overcome oppressive systems and embrace all aspects of their experiences, including suffering, rage, and resiliency. This is a time when diversity and empowerment are valued more than ever. Dark goddesses are called upon in spiritual societies to aid in personal development and healing, especially when dealing with trauma or facing one's inner darkness. In order to reveal realities and promote rebirth and rejuvenation, they are viewed as guides into the underworld of the psyche. Further illustrating society's continued fascination with these complex characters is the retelling of the dark goddesses' stories in modern literature, art, and media. Their tales are being retold to address contemporary concerns and offer a mythical framework for comprehending the intricacies of the human experience. The knowledge of dark goddesses can help us through uncertain, painful, and transformative times as we negotiate the difficulties of the modern world. We can access a deep well of fortitude and resiliency by accepting the enigmatic, unpredictable, and unpredictable parts of our existence. The dark goddesses call us to traverse the path between darkness and light, face our shadow selves, and come out entire, empowered and changed.